Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Recipe for Adventure. This time with more questions with my good friend, Sai. Sai, would you say hello?
I feel like it.
Okay, you technically answered, why not? So the reason why I bring that up is because last week I didn't ask our usual question, and I think that's because last week, if you guys remember, we had a little issue. I say we, but it was mostly me. Did something to screw up and accidentally deleted our salvage titan, so we had to find another token, and we got completely sidetracked and distracted. But I remember now, and I'm locked in. And is that Hirschfield on the right? No, no, I'm locked in. The question for this week is, what was your luckiest roll that you've ever had? And a lot of people will hear this and think, oh, that time I rolled a natural 20. No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm not asking about your best natural 20. I'm asking luckiest roll.
Drop kicking a bomb.
Wait, hang on. Is this Dungeons and the Dragonings?
Yeah.
Remind I remember the story, but tell everybody else what happened because it was pretty funny. Like series of situations, like it was stupid. It was a very stupid
Okay.
game,
So,
and that's a big compliment, by the way. But yes, sorry. Please
yep.
tell the story.
So I was playing my character Lucan.
Mm-hmm.
He is very dumb but very strong.
Mm-hmm. The best
Like
kind of
so
character.
strong, yeah, so strong that his cell phone was just a metal slab with a single button. And when using it, I had to make a strength check to see if I accidentally broke it. So we were investigating some gang members who we had spared from a previous encounter, and supposedly they were being held hostage because it's like, hey, you spared these guys. Ah, you're goody two shoes. Well, what if we put them in danger again?
Mm-hmm.
How about that? And like the suckers we were, and all just like well-meaning and all fun-loving, me and my good buddy went to investigate. Good buddy played by the other person
Me.
in this. Yes, yes, are you? Um, so we went to rescue the guys, and two guys strapped to a chair, and in between them, a bomb the size of a torso. And you would think, the bomb is the trap. And yes, yes, it was a bomb, a very, very large bomb.
Mm-hmm.
But also, the main bad guy had situated himself from really far away at a sniper's nest, and had a clear shot on us while we were trying to, rescue the people and defuse the bomb.
Mm-mm-mm.
So immediately, sniper shots start coming in,
Yep.
and it's like, oh no, we're getting sniped. We don't have time to defuse the bomb. What do we do with the bomb?
We get rid
And
of it.
and I believe you said, like, just throw it away or something.
Yep.
And so it's like, just like someone's trying to shoot, just throw it at him. So I climbed up to the roof to try to see the sniper, and I notice him in the far distance. And someone's like, "Yeah, that's too far to throw." And I answered in character, "It's too far to throw. I might be able to kick it that far though." And so I proceed. The DM looked at me, and with a sigh of expecting something about to happen, I'm like, "Cool. I'm gonna go kick the bomb." I think technically there was another character with us who also helped out, but what happened is Dungeons of the Dragon uses a D10 explosion system. So every time that you roll a dice, a D10, if the result is a 10, you roll again and add that result to the 10 that you rolled. And you can roll multiple 10s. A result of a 40, which is possible thanks to explosions, is considered an impossible task to accomplish.
Mm-hmm.
I proceeded to roll 77 to drop kick a bomb and counter snipe the sniper.
I think the DM was pretty like, I wouldn't say they were done with us because the DM was actually our dear friend and we're very fond of him. To be clear, we're still friends to this day and we are still fond of each other. But throughout this Dungeons and Dragonings experience, like, we just kept doing things that made him go, God damn it, shaking his head and looking into his palms. That style
He
of game.
became a player after that session because he could not DM anymore.
He just couldn't deal with our shit.
It's a system of explosions, sure. So occasionally you will succeed beyond your measure. The problem was that it was always succeeding beyond our measure.
We were consistently pulling shit that we probably shouldn't be able to do, and if it wasn't just luck, it was also the things we planned on doing and trying to do. Like, we just kept
succeeding at it.
Yeah, we just kept derailing stuff, just the method and way we kept doing stuff.
But the 77 there,
I think that was the high. I think that was the record. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the what just happened.
That was a drop kick. I swear it was just a normal football kick.
Well, it was kicking the bomb, right?
Yeah, I was kicking the bomb. I just imagine like you treated it like a soccer ball. You like picked it up, dropped it onto your foot, which then propelled it a million miles an hour. Broke the sound barrier probably.
Either way, this highly it's like before you ask, is it dangerous to kick a bomb like that? It's like the bomb was well defended to prevent us from being able to just rip it apart in the first place. And that became the downside because the idea was that the shell would eject before the explosion, or as part of the explosion, but it was meant to be like basically impervious to damage. So I just hit this sniper with the full force of this torso-sized missile, which was about to explode in a couple of seconds. So he got hit by that, and then it exploded.
Like, it was very heavily implied, and I'd like to imagine it the case, although it wasn't stated outright. But I imagine the guy died before it went off because it was just that much bone-shattering force behind it.
Actually, I remember.
Oh?
He survived the initial hit.
He did? Oh my god.
Because he was meant to be a boss encounter.
Oh, right. I forgot about that part. And then, oh my god. As the kids would say, that guy ate a lot of shit that day. Jesus. Like, it wasn't a disrespectful one-shot, but the way and the circumstances behind how he died in the one round might as well made it like that disrespectful. Well, it's perfect.
Yeah, because he did not take another shot at us after that. He was definitely gone. Dealt with.
He was just gone. Just deleted. Oh gosh. Okay, it's coming back to me now. It's not.
I have, however, a recent extra mention.
Oh, what's that?
I might have talked to you about. I might have mentioned offhandedly to you, but it's a lot more recent.
Oh,
where I was playing a game of Savage Worlds.
Not ringing a bell, but please continue.
Yeah, I was doing a one shot. I think it's called like Patient Zero.
Is this the one where you played the Monster Hunter or?
No.
No, okay, this is definitely a different thing. Okay, yep, it's definitely not ringing a bell for me.
Yeah, this is fairly recent.
Okay.
Where the idea is that you're basically like, it's a zombie apocalypse that's in a walled-off city.
Sure.
And you are all kind of like monsters of your own right, like heroic-ish monsters, but monsters of your own right being dropped into the city to find Patient Zero, because it's like the government wants to work out what the hell caused the zombie apocalypse in the first place.
You guys are basically the Suicide Squad, or
the Suicide Squad,
Creature Commandos. Like, that's what they
yes,
call it.
Technically, Creature Commandos is the correct one.
Yes,
and so it was a 3-man squad of a Frankenstein's monster, a mummy, and me playing a gentleman phantom thief.
Oh.
Emphasis on the word phantom.
Okay, I definitely don't remember you telling me about this, but it sounds intriguing. Please go on.
So, spoilers for, or actually, I'll be a bit vague, but in Patient Zero, near the end, the finale, like right before the finale, or as the finale happens, the finale is a chase sequence
Mm-hmm.
where you start running, like, and it's like you get chased by something.
Mm-hmm.
And my Phantom Thief, the way I started him was very much like, very squishy, but rather like to focus on dodging and such.
Mm-hmm.
I started the combat physical,
Mm-hmm.
because I can also be like spiritual.
Mm-hmm.
But I started the combat physical because I just lassoed a guy to kidnap him.
Of course, of course, of course.
And on the initiative order, I went last. Chase sequence started. Big bad, oh dear god, got to go first.
Mm-hmm.
Moved up to me, could reach me, and made an attack.
Oh no. Wait.
The attack most certainly hit.
Oh no.
Damage, enough damage to instantly kill me.
Oh no. But
So,
this is a you being lucky. So what's the turnaround here?
so they have a thing called bennies, which is like a kind of inspiration point, hero point, bonus little thing. You can spend it and you can do some stuff with
Okay.
it, depending, like a reroll or something. Um, when you take a lot of damage, you can use a Benny to try and like negate damage.
Sure.
And you get to roll basically your vitality dice.
Mm-hmm.
Because rather than using like a stat of like 1, 2, 3, 4, they use dice, starting on a D4, a D6, a D8, a D10, a D12.
Mm-mm-mm.
So I got to roll my D4,
Mm-hmm.
and for every multiple of 4, I got to reduce the amount of damage I took by 1.
Oh. I see where this is going. Suddenly.
Um, and damage is dealt to you in terms of wounds. For
Okay.
every 4 damage over a certain amount, you take a wound.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I basically got hit with a uh, full all wounds immediately
Mm.
in one hit. So I took my little D4 and I'm like, there. This is such a shot in the dark. And I rolled my D4. And Savage Worlds is an explosion dice system.
Yep. Okay, there it is. There it is. I was gonna say, like,
And I watched
yep.
as I got a 4, a 4, a 4, a 4. I took no damage from that attack. That would have insta-killed me.
Jeez. This
I described it as like a swing, and I just like ducked underneath it, and it completely like mystified me. Like it just like red mist. Rather, it was just the rose lapel I was wearing
yeah.
that got clipped, and the rest of me ducked underneath with my hat over top, and I just grabbed my hat, put it back on my head, and said nope, and started sprinting at full speed.
Just nope. Ah, true words never said. Uh, I do like exploding dice systems, just because they allow you to do stuff like this. Because like a D20 is fantastic. Don't get me wrong, but there's like a 5% chance of it happening every single time, and it is definitely special every time it happens. But I feel exploding dice, like rolling 1 in 4 is a 25% chance, but then rolling that twice in a row, 1 in 16, and then it just gets exponentially more and more unlikely every single time. Never
Yeah,
mind, 10-sided dice and such like that. It feels even more special when that happens. Also, with how like wishy-washy the D&D system gets, and I don't think it's the system's fault per se. I think it's just people's perspective of the system, how wishy-washy D20s can get. Because like depending on your DM, a natural 20 can basically make you god, or just make you not even past certain things. It just depends on like the interpretation of how things work. But exploding dice, no, that's a mechanical thing. We know exactly what happens if you roll this exact number every time. That's why I like exploding dice. But you know what? I'm going to share my story quickly. I don't think it's going to top yours, but it is something I've been meaning to share. Long
I
time ago.
shared too, so I cheated.
Nah, that's okay. They were nice. They were both exploding dice stories. This one happened a long time ago. This was before I even met Sai. This is back in the day of D&D 3.5. And I remember specifically looting a treasure room or something along those lines and getting something called a Shield of Light Fortification. Essentially, every time you're hit with a critical attack, it gives you a chance to just take the normal damage instead of the critical damage. The way 3.5 worked is roll d20, roll high enough, you get to do twice as much damage, 3 times as much damage, 4 times as much damage. It just depends on like your feats and the actual weapons, because certain weapons had different critical ranges and damage amounts. Anyways, I remember like being on low hit points at one point, and this was the final confrontation of the game. And an assassin got the drop on me, hit me with critical hit. And it would have killed me if that shield that I found from like that chest like the previous session didn't activate and save me. So it wasn't a D20 save, it was just essentially a Chekhov's gun that paid off essentially. And I remember that still to this day.
Yeah, and treasure hoards are often randomized too, so
Yeah, no, it was like if this was a movie, someone would say, "Oh, that's awfully convenient that you got that specific shield that would have saved you from this specific kind of attack." Like, I'm pretty sure that that assassin character that was after us was built to do critical damage. I'm pretty sure it was. Ah, it was a fantastic game. So, anyways, we're back in the temple, and we've just finished off here. We talked about what happens if the players fight them, and what happens if the player doesn't fight them in one case, I'm pretty sure. I'm still very proud of how the Salvage Titan turned out, like mechanically speaking and such. I'm a bit worried that it's overly tough for a bunch of level 4 characters, but I think we've nerfed it enough.
It's nerfed in respect, so...
And of course, like, the area it's in means it's very, what's the word?
Restricted.
Restricted, yes. So the players can, if they're smart, like, play around with it. And of course, it being an optional boss fight means they don't have to, like, keep going for it. So, what did we talk about going for next? I think we were talking about the Lifeguard towers?
Yep, the Lifeguard Tower was, I believe, our next point of call.
Do we want to make that its own separate dungeon? Like, because I imagine... Or do we want to make...
Do we want to make the Lifeguard Tower? I think the plan was the Lifeguard Towers just be a thing, like just an area, like the library or the blacksmith.
Okay.
If we want to dungeon it up, I'm okay with that. But I think we've already got some plans for what's inside as well.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't have to be a fight. The only reason why I'm bringing up the fight part is because we have the Milky White like roaming around all the time. Do we want to make this a safe space in that like it just avoids it for whatever reason? Or maybe it's just not its hunting grounds because there's usually no prey in here? Actually, yeah, like, because we mentioned the Milky White doesn't go to the temple because that's where the Salvage Titan is. I like to imagine that it doesn't go to the guard tower because there's no prey to be had there, so it doesn't turn up for a different reason. We don't have to explicitly state that though. Not to the players, anyways. So,
well, I mean, if we don't make this place it doesn't give this place a map, the Milky White can just attack you outside of it.
Okay. I'll mention it now then. in that case, in the document, the Milky White doesn't usually come here, not because it's intimidated by the inhabitants, but because there's never any prey in this area. That said, the Milky White can hunt the players down before they make it to this area. Alrighty. So I'm just thinking of like the description of this guard tower. So obviously,
So,
yep,
well, we also have noted that there are some health potions.
yep.
So, for our broken, and then there's space for 6 dwarvish diving suits.
However, only
The
one
only
is intact.
one is
Yeah,
intact.
yeah. So
So,
I want to think. So a pitted and previously busy road leads up to a gate to the remains of a gate that is overseen by its silent guardian, the Lifeguard Tower, which, despite its age, is reasonably intact, despite the various torn banners and growing seaweed pocketing the structure. All right.
yeah, like with the idea that there's a gate underneath it, I can imagine the lifeguard tower, basically being like, there's that in the wall with the idea of there's a beach beyond it, or was a beach beyond it, but the wall and the guard tower was to prevent any like large waves
Oh
from
wait.
making into the city.
So wait, hang on. So you want the actual gate built into the guard tower itself?
It could be beside. I don't mind. I just had the image of like the gate under the tower,
Mm-mm.
but the gate could be beside it. I'm fine with that.
Okay. Okay. So, alright, we'll make that detail. If players investigate the other side of the walls and tower, they will run into an expanse, a vast expanse of nothing but sand. And then I can get like a nature check. What kind of nature check would that be, would you say? To like identify the fact that this thing like held back the waves.
Uh, well, I mean, by this point in time, right? Normally, you would assume that the coral and all that would have crept in because it's no longer under the waves.
Yeah, I was just thinking that, but like also, I'm also thinking like the walls on the other side could have that sort of wave damage and like salt
Oh
buildup.
yeah.
So like
Mm,
maybe nature 15,
yeah.
C15. Um, there's evidence from the type of damage on the walls that this was once a bulwark against the waves. Due to the age of this area, it's impossible to tell if it overlooked the beach or if it was more like what do you call those a cliff. That's right. More like an artificial cliff. Constantly defending the mainland against the battering waves. Actually,
Good. Because it raises questions but doesn't necessarily answer them.
yeah, exactly. It's like the basic idea is that it's the border, and there was water on the other side. And hang on, I've just got a Windows update. I'm just gonna close it quickly because it's bothering me. Go
Good old
away.
Windows.
And it's the end of Windows 10 support.
Yep.
I mean, I know it's like Windows 10 came out like what 7 years ago, and that's 6, maybe 7 years ago, something like that.
It's the same thing that happens every time.
Yeah,
People don't want to upgrade to the newest Windows until they're forced to because they like what they currently have.
I
And when
mean,
you upgrade, you will like what you have then, but it's never great when it first comes out. It takes time.
it's frustrating because like from an IT perspective, like someone who used to do IT, I know why it has to be done because like legacy wear and stuff like that becomes legacy for a reason because at that point everybody knows all the exploits for it and it's too expensive to keep
Hmm.
patching them up and stuff like that, so you might as well make
Yep.
something more improved, more efficient, I should say. It's not even about the exploits, it's just about efficiency and such like that at that point. I mean,
Yep.
obviously there's some capitalism going on, like where you say, hey, buy this new thing, obviously. But with like computers with 24/7 access to the internet, it's very important to have like this thing where you have to like treat things as obsolete eventually,
Yeah.
because like there are some exploits that just can't be patched out for whatever reason. It's in the underlying code, and it's frustrating, but I
It's
understand.
frustrating, but yeah, that's how it goes.
And it's not even like exploits in like the way you think when I say exploits. It's not. It doesn't have to do with hackers. It's just a thing that happens sometimes. Okay, anyways, going too far on a tangent, and there are much more qualified people who can talk about it. If you're just watching this for IT stuff, stop. I'm not an expert. There are other people out there for that. Let's focus on D&D. Apologies. All right, so we can have them go into the actual tower itself.
Yep.
Okay. Players can enter the tower. And the tower. And I'm going to split up into 3 different sections.
3 floors.
Yeah, 3 main floors. So, not necessarily. There's going to be 4, but I have an idea. So, the ground floor has the gate and its controls that no longer work. Normally, this would mean entry and exit would be impossible if not for the fact that the party is submerged in water and thus can just swim over the wall. Okay, so besides that, it also has access to the tower itself. Alright. Tower itself, starting with what looked like a public foyer. So like people
Yeah.
doing paperwork here or inviting guests in and such like that. The second and third floor due to the passage of time, has combined.
Ooh,
Since
yep.
the second floor's ceiling / third floor's floor has collapsed. This damage has not extended any further due to the otherwise remarkable craftsmanship. And this will explain all the damage and why they can't find anything.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, maybe levels floor.
Would we
Yeah, sorry?
put the potions and suits of armor here then?
I think so. Okay, so investigation check, DC.
Yep.
Let's make it easy one first for the dwarven diving suits. 10. You know what? I'll make it a 5, and they don't find the undamaged one. So for investigation DC 5, players can find the damaged remains of 6 dwarvish diving suits. While they aren't operational, there's enough intact that players can add dwarvish diving suit scrap to their inventory. Hang on, I misspelled dwarvish. There we go.
Yep.
The metal alone is of fine make, and while not mythical, is still worth at least, let's say, how much is a full set of armor usually? Because this has more like...
It depends on the set of armor. If we're going full plate mail,
Yeah?
it's like 1,000 to 1,500.
Okay, we won't give them that much. 500 GP seems pretty good for scrap, though. At least
Yeah.
500 GP. Okay. There are enough intact that players can add dwarvish diving suit scrap to their inventory. The metal alone is of fine make, and while not mythical, is still worth at least 500 GP. Despite the damage. So it's just the metal that, like, buyers will be looking at. It's like, oh, this is fine quality ore, and such like that.
It's like fine ore and like fine craftsmanship. Because like even if it's like it's not a full suit of armor, it's like, ooh, this is like the remains of a gauntlet from the old dwarvish civilization.
Exactly.
It has value because like its make, its legacy, or like everything.
Oh yeah, historic. Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. Yeah. Due to the high quality material and historical value. Yes, I didn't even think of that. Alright, so investigation DC 10. Players find that one of the dwarvish diving suits is only missing a few bits that can easily be replaced by the other damaged suits. And let me just check door. Yep. Check the notable items sheet document for this item. There we go. Players can still add dwarvish diving suit scrap to their inventory. Alright, there we go. Okay. So I also want, okay, hang on. I'm going to have to add a bit more here, actually.
Oh,
Okay,
we're
so,
going deeper down to the dot points.
yeah, just a bit. Players find several vials of smashed bottles that were labeled as health potions. Wait, labeled with the universal sign of healing,
Yeah, that's a
leading
better way to do it.
them to believe that these were once health potions. Because like like a giant diving suit, easy to find. Health potions, not so much. And then
Yep.
invest, even though like the suit is way more valuable, like arguably. Like I just like thinking,
Yep.
oh,
Makes
yeah.
more sense that the potions are harder to find in the rubble.
Players find 4 bottles. Was it 4 bottles? Hang on, it was in this
Yep.
document. I'm pretty sure. Yep.
Yep. 4 bottles.
4 bottles of. Wait.
Just 4 health potions.
Miraculously find 4 health potions intact. What kind of health potions did we say they were gonna be?
We didn't specify. We just said health potions.
What's good for level 4 characters?
Greater health potions.
Okay, fine. 4 greater health potions intact. There we go.
Those are the 4d4 plus 4.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty good for level 4 characters. They're still pretty useful no matter what, though. But yes. Okay. Do we want to, like, put anything else in here to be looted? Because, like, the health
On this
potions...
floor?
Yeah.
Probably not. Particularly because there's a tablet talking about that this is what's in the guardhouse. Well, there's mundane weapons, armor, and rations. It's mentioned.
Right.
Rations would be completely useless at this point, but mundane weapons and armor might be mentioned, though I think they might all be scrap at this point.
Yeah, okay. I'll mention that in DC 5. There are other broken weapons and armor strewn about in the wreckage, but none fit to sell or even salvage for parts.
Cool.
Do we want to add something like super secret, like the players could find like by accident, like because that's not even mentioned in the tablet? Like maybe something that was confiscated even?
Something confiscated does sound good, but I'm a little worried about giving out too much good loot. With like no real downside to getting here.
Oh, you know what? Okay, DC. Okay, no, we'll make it DC 15 still. No, DC 20. Investigation DC 20. Players find a small box, a small locked box in surprisingly good condition. Small locked metal box in surprisingly good condition. And obviously we can give the players like okay, so what's it called? Disabled device? No, it's called Thieves Tool.
Yeah.
Thieves Tool DC 20. Like, I'm wondering if we make this a cursed or trapped item or something like that. Like, not necessarily in the
Oh,
conventional sense, but in the sense that, like, it would have been valuable back then, but then because it's been underwater, it loses efficacy. Like, say it's drugs or something like that, they open it up underwater, it would destroy it, whatever it is in there.
hmm.
So they have to
That is
wait.
a cool idea.
Yeah, so that if they open it up while they're on land, um, actually, you know what? Perception check. So obviously, if they double check uh, perception DC, let's say 15, the device, the box is oddly airtight. And it's not technically trapped, but I am pointing out that it is airtight. So players can come to their own conclusions on if they should open it now or later. You see where I'm going with this,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I see where you're going with that. I'm just trying to think what'd be cool to do it. Like, part of me thinks like a spell scroll or two could be really good
Mhm. Mhm.
because, like, opening a spell like a box with like a powerful spell scroll inside,
Mhm.
it's like cool. You open it up, the spell scroll is completely ruined by the water.
I would make a note of it. Like, normally spell scrolls
Yeah,
would be magically protected, but because it's been so many years, that that protective part of the enchantment has
yeah.
has faded. Hmm.
So I kind of like the spell scroll idea.
Mhm.
Um, I'm wondering if there's anything else that might be kind of.
Let me quickly go through the DMG. If you want to go through the spells to figure out what kind of spells could be on the scroll, that'll be
Okay.
cool. But otherwise, a thing we could possibly do is an alchemical reagent for Owl.
Yeah. Though explaining why it's in a lockbox would be a bit weird.
I mean, they're smuggling it in or out. I mean, it doesn't. Yeah, it's anything valuable can be smuggled in or out to
Yeah.
avoid taxes. So I
No,
don't think we have to.
I suppose if we describe it as like literally like alchemical stuff that could have been treated as drugs back in the day. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, yeah. Um.
Like even outside of like illegal things, just trying to escape uh, taxes and such, I think would have been fine as well. You found
Ooh.
something good?
Um. Like I'm just thinking about the city, right?
Yeah.
And I was just looking. I was thinking fifth level spell, and I saw summon celestial,
Oh.
and I'm like, I could imagine with the city kind of becoming more worshipping of the robots and everything.
So any like
That like
religious symbol of like any other outside of what they've got? Yeah, no, I can see.
and
Mm,
like summon celestial would basically just be you get an ally for like one battle effectively
mm, mm, mm.
because it's one of the Tasha's Cauldron of Everything summons.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like one creature lasts for up to an hour, and you basically get like an angelic figure for an hour.
Mm, mm, mm.
I mean, it's like I could see that being kind of cool. On the other hand, level 5 spell pass wall, the ability to just go through a surface.
Oh, that'll be very awesome then. What about?
Uh, or go the other direction and have infernal calling, which summons a devil from the nine hells.
I kind of just want a one-shot like ability, to be honest. If we are going with a scroll, um,
Yeah. Wall of force, teleportation circle. Ooh, found something.
I just it won't work mechanically the way it's written. A folding boat. Like, what if this entire
Yeah,
box was a folding boat and they opened it up and just floats to the surface without them?
that'd be awkward.
Uh, the thought like amuses me, but probably not. Yeah.
I mean, if you wanted to do an attack, it could be like destructive wave,
Mm-hmm.
or like maybe dispel good and evil.
Actually, let me check our notable items list, because we should be using that. So we've got something for strength-based characters, an arcane caster, a dex fighter, bard, rogue, ranger, and druid. What have we not covered?
Monk.
Ooh.
Um, like cleric,
So wisdom characters, basically.
paladin.
Well,
Yeah,
paladin would be like the strength-based character
strength
here,
based. Yeah,
but like we don't have
but like
anything for wisdom-type characters yet. What about
mental cleric. No.
what about a manual? In that case,
Oh, that's a good item. Do we want it?
let me
I
just double
mean,
check what it's called. Like, because there's so many different manuals, right? Manual of quick action, gainful exercise, bodily health, dexterity score, gainful exercise. Where's the one for? Is there one for wisdom?
there is.
Where is it? Hang on, am I reading it right? We'll just call it Manual of Wisdom. Why not?
Um,
Of
it is called the Tome of Understanding.
Oh, okay. That's why I couldn't find it, because it's not under the M section. It's under the T section. All right, let me just check the wording. Actually, if you've got it open, do you mind putting into the notable items box? Notable items document.
It's the Tome of Understanding is really, really good. It
Mm.
does take time, but
Exactly.
it's super good. But if you're happy for it, I'm happy to give out one Tome of Understanding.
There's a tome. There's an old tome of understanding inside the box. Okay. However, this differs from the usual tome in that, oh, hang on, I spelt it as tomb. Tome of understanding. From the usual tome in that it's been left here for an unknown amount of time, and any enchantment that would have protected it against water has failed. If this tome is exposed to water, it will be destroyed. There we go. I think I misspelled tome. No, that's how it's spelled. Why is it come? Ignore. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy paste something. Okay.
Cool.
This is from the usual tome in that it's been left here. Yep, okay, here we go. And we'll just flick it to the right hand side, give it a little indentation. Okay, there we go. The left in Kraken's Pearl. for an unknown amount of time, and any enchantment that would have protected against water has failed. If this tome is exposed to
Well,
water, it will be destroyed.
the cool thing with the tomes, like the tome as well, is that it could have been used in the past as well, and it just takes a century to regain its power anyway. So
yeah, so we know for a fact that it's at least 100 years old at this point.
yep.
So, yes. I've always liked the idea of throwing these manuals and tomes at players. Like, it just feels like it's always going to be useful no matter what to anyone and everyone.
They are very good. They're very rare for a reason.
So we'll say wisdom character. So despite playing a monk, I can't remember what wisdom does for me. It does something for my saves, I'm pretty sure.
It raises your armor class.
It raised my armor class? Really?
Yes.
Not my saves?
Your armor. Well, I mean, your save. You do have wisdom saves as well, but
Oh no,
a monk calculates his armor class.
Oh no, I mean
based
like
upon
I mean like my
plus wisdom.
I more meant my stunning strike DC save. That's
Well, yes. Your monk saves are based off that as well. Yes.
right. Yes. Okay. Yep. That's what I remember now. So wisdom based character. We don't have to say base, just strength character, wisdom character. I think. Actually, you know what? Dexterity character. Hang on, because the other dexterity thing is for. Let me just double check. Woolly jumper, silver rapier. Yeah, that can be used by.
This is silver rapier.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just a fighter. It could be like rogues or even a dexterity barbarian if those exist, technically.
Yep.
Okay. Prototype forged musket. Okay. Krakensfeld guards tower. Second floor. No, it doesn't matter. Just say guards tower.
Yeah.
Alright, so that's all we find on the second/third floor. And then on the top floor, which is this... okay. Top floor of the tower.
Is the guard ghost.
Is where a small tent... Okay, wait. Has been... Okay. Unlike most of Kraken's pearl, has no bubbles escaping from any crevice here. Okay. Hang on. The top floor of the tower, unlike most of Kraken's pearl, has no bubbles escaping from any crevice here. At first, the area here seems... what's another word for blank? Undescriptive? No, that's
empty.
All. Seems empty. Alright. Empty. But a soft, glowing blue... Oh wait, hang on. But upon a second glance, the soft blue that could have been mistaken for a flicker of light coalesces. I don't know how to spell coalesces apparently. Coalesces. Coalesces. No, that's Colossus. I don't know how to spell coalesces apparently. Coalesces?
I believe there's a C involved.
Coalicus?
Coalesces.
Coalesces. Oh, okay, that looks more right. coalesces into the form of a ghost. There we go. At first, the area here seems empty, but upon a second glance, the soft blue that could have been mistaken for a flicker of light coalesces into a form of the ghost. Okay, let's see. The ghost. Sudden appearance. Doesn't seem to be what do you call doesn't seem to be the ghost doesn't seem
Hostile.
no,
Doesn't appear
that's
hostile.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna write that, but actually I'm gonna write in the previous this sudden appearance and previous concealment didn't seem intentional. There we go. The ghost doesn't seem hostile. There we go. So we mentioned that we could like give this ghost a quest or something like that.
Well, I think our earlier discussions was that the guard ghost of the guard tower can tell you about the comings and goings of what's happening in this place.
Right, right. It was in the features of
So,
a
for
note,
example,
I think.
yeah, it was like at the very start, like the inhabitants, because
Right.
we discussed the idea, like he's the one who tells you about Milky White and certain factors. For example, like he gives information about the areas. Like
Right.
he warns you. He warns you that there is something very dangerous in the temple.
All right. In that case, I will say the ghost doesn't seem hostile, and in fact, is joyful for the company. And we'll share the following information if questioned. So, first of all, I can't leave tower. My spirit is bound here. Honestly, I don't even know why I haven't passed on yet. There we go. I think I was a dwarf. My name is also unclear, but I know I was a god here. Alright, Milky White. Dangers? Well, there's a big white shark goes around. Used to come here until it ate all the fish, which explains why it's only just me now. I call it the Milky White. Joyful of the company, and will eagerly share the information if questioned.
Yeah. I believe we wanted to have him discuss like the temple.
Oh yes.
Like
the temple has a big guard, a titan. I haven't been lately or ever, which might be why I'm cursed to stick around here. I'm not sure. Just a little tidbit, like he's not sure why he's here. Just like, yeah, I haven't been to the temple. Maybe that's why I'm cursed.
Yeah.
So he, yeah. What else?
I think mentioning like Sahagan in the area.
Oh, I've seen fish people, not like fish who talk, but fish who walk as well. Also, I haven't actually seen any fish that talk. Either that or they don't talk to me. Trust me, I've tried. Because he can't leave the tower.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? I think he'll talk about the loot as well. Oh, we had some diving suits downstairs and
Medical
potions
supplies.
and weapons and supplies, and we also confiscated a nice box, but we don't know what's inside since it was locked. There we go. Okay, we had some diving suits downstairs and potions and weapons and supplies, and we also had confiscate. There we go, yep. So he doesn't tell them where they are because he's not sure. But, oh wait, he can't. You know what? I'm going to make this sadder. I can't leave the tower's roof. There we go. And you know what?
Ooh.
You know what? I'm going to make it so that it's a persuasion DC to have him remember the diving suits. Otherwise, he'll just not remember. So let's say persuasion DC like 0. We had some supplies downstairs, I think. Weapons and armor, mostly. And then the persuasion DC 10 to help him remember. There we go. We had some, like... So it's less like, come on, can't you tell me we're friends? And it's more, he just doesn't really think about it that hard if you ask him. It's like...
He needs to be properly prodded to kind of get it back into his memory.
Like, if I say, hey, what's in your fridge? You might just say, oh, I guess I have some food in there. But, like, if you like, hey, could you tell me specifically what's in your fridge? You might go, I think I had some milk, half a cup of Coke in there, and leftovers from McDonald's. So it's, like, more detailed than that point.
Yeah.
What other information do we want to stick in there?
I like the idea of him noting that we are not the first, like, people he has seen in town.
Oh, yeah.
Like, in recent time.
You lot? Yeah, I like that. You lot are the only visitors I've had in recent times. More specifically... Oh, wait, no. Visitors, no. You lot aren't the only ones to visit this city in recent times. It was pretty far away, but I'm pretty sure there were non-aquatic folks coming in as early as a few days ago.
Yeah, that way it's like, whoa, what? You know, I think that's good because that helps us set up for when we show off a bandit or two in the main palace.
Ooh, I'm gonna add another one. Shame they didn't visit me though. Me or come closer. Shame they didn't. Oh wait, didn't come closer and visit me here. Let me think. What else can he do? What else can he talk about? Oh, right, the bubbles. The bubbles are neat. Started about... When did did we mention when the Phoenix feather came around?
Nope.
Became active? So maybe we just say a year ago?
The Phoenix Feather got here like a year ago. We haven't like we haven't discussed, was the Phoenix Feather here from the start of Kraken's Pearl going under?
I'd
Was it
like to.
something that was placed here later?
No, I think it was here from the beginning, but maybe it only breached containment or like whatever contained it broke very recently, relatively speaking.
Okay, I
Start.
like that.
So the bubbles are neat. Started about a year ago or so. So give or take a month, maybe. It's hard to keep track. Bum. Big white shark goes around. Used to come here until it ate all the fish, which explains why it's only just me now. I call it Milky White.
I think that's a lot of good information.
Okay. Do we want him to talk about the wall ruins in the east and south, or like did we?
Oh, I mean, him just mentioning that it was meant to keep the water out,
Oh yeah.
but that didn't.
Oh yeah. So if they ask him about like what was this wall for? The wall here? It was a life. Oh wait, no. The structures here. It was a lifeguard tower. Sure, we regards, but it was mostly to stop idiots from drowning. Don't think we ever saw a single bandit or enemy soldier in all my time serving. Pretty cushy job, I think, what if I remember right. Okay.
I like that.
Let me check what else. So we've talked about the library, this mural. We're seeing if there's anything useful that he can also like reveal to the players. Marketplace, central open area, tents.
Yeah, I guess mentioning the market, like the market's been pretty dead from what I can see, but someone's still there.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Okay.
Because you could theoretically come to this location first.
Yeah. Okay. Hang on, I skipped past it. Okay. Market has seen very little movement. I wonder if my favorite vendor is still operating. Oh, right. It wasn't someone who could die of old age or even move without orders. Was one of those fancy golems. So assuming nothing has broken it, it might still be there. What did it sell again? Like, I don't remember. Vendor has many weapons
Well,
equipment, most of which made of bronze. Slight
yeah.
discount due to war damage. Dragon. Yeah, we'll just say equipment. Oh, you know what? I just something to add to the lore to it. It was one of those fancy
Mhm.
golems. Operating. They sold some of that really shiny bronze stuff. I used to have a nice helmet, but the boss told me to wear my uniform, so I left that at home. Ooh, I used to have a nice bronze helmet from there. But the boss told me to wear my uniform, so I left it at home. Also, I don't remember where home is. I want to add a little extra thing, actually. If the players ever find a bronze helmet and give it to the ghost, regardless of where they find it, the ghost will then pass on.
He just regrets not getting to wear his helmet. So he's just been stuck here.
Yeah, he's just been stuck here because he didn't get to wear his bronze helmet. It's a nice bronze helmet, man. I kind of want to give the players a little charm after that, actually. Where's the charms again? Because I know it's
at the end of there's maybe a charm of like heroism.
Charm of heroism. Okay. Whoever gives the helmet gains the charm. Oh, hang on. Charm of heroism. DMG page 228. Yeah, it's like I feel like something silly like that. It's like, yep, you help them to pass on.
I wonder if we want to add something about the bronze helmet into the random encounters somewhere.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we can give it to Milky White.
I also considered that Milky White has the bronze helmet.
Okay, ooh. Inhabitants of note, Milky White, area when slain, drops / hacks up a dented bronze helmet, and I'll add that into the notable items.
If it's an item,
I don't even want to make it magical. It's just a helmet.
Yeah.
Helmet found on Milky White when slain. Okay. Awfully well preserved, if somewhat dented. This ornate bronze helmet is quite the art piece.
Yeah, because the only other thought I had was make it a custom headband of intellect.
Nah. We'll just say it can be sold for 200 GP.
That works.
Can be sold for 200 GP. I'm gonna make a medicine roll. Medicine DC, let's say 18. You recall that medicine / history DC 18. Some older bronze alloys containing a coating that can induce blindness when ingested. Okay, you recall that some older bronze alloys contain a coating that can induce blindness when ingested.
Oof. Well, that's a good way to answer a question in a silly way. I like it.
Al's potion from... You know what? I'm going to add it. Bronze helmet. Let's just say 5 GP. No, we'll make it 20 GP. So he can Owl. I'm in the Owl's potions for sale / magic items. So uh, so he doesn't like take apart the bronze helmet. He just scrapes off like the coating.
Yep.
Uh, coating. So it's not too expensive. Potion of blindness can be thrown. And can be thrown as a grenade upon impact. All creatures within a, let's say, 5-foot radius, 5 feet radius, must make a, let's say, DC 15.
Pretty good.
DC
15 Constitution save.
Con save or be blinded for, let's say,
1 minute.
1 minute. Do we want them to redo the saves every round?
I think redoing the save every round is probably for the best.
Mm-mm.
Because the party could accidentally be hit resist as well.
Okay, yep. Can be thrown as a grenade upon impact. All creatures with a 5-foot radius must make a DC 15 con save or be blinded for 1 minute. What's the wording? The save can be...
A creature can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns.
A creature can repeat the save at the end of each of their turns.
To end this effect early.
To end this effect early. Okay.
I think that's a good way to write it.
It's just a stupid little thing, bronze helmet coating. I do have to change up the sunken city a bit. In that case, so going back to him, finds not a bronze helmet, the bronze helmet.
Yep.
Eaten by Milky White, just so that they just don't give him any old one. Okay. If players...
I think we can take away regardless of where they find it as well.
Oh, yeah. If the players ever give the ghost another bronze helmet, they will still be grateful. Do we want to give him any mechanical benefit, I don't know, use a cantrip on them? You know what? Nah, this is a roleplay thing. He's just grateful.
Yeah.
But say that this specific helmet isn't his. Okay, there we go. Oh man, I love this character already. The nameless ghost of the Lifeguard
The
Tower.
Lifeguard.
The Lifeguard,
the Lifeguard
Tower.
Ghost.
Yeah, the Lifeguard Ghost. I like him. I feel like he's gonna be a favorite of the party. I think we've just got to make a note for ourselves to when we do the rest of the map, like the theater and the palace, we just have to come back to him and the library, maybe even. Does the library say anything about the theater? Let's just double check in. Mural, tablet, landmarks of Kraken's Pearl. Yup. Salvage Titan, inventory at the temple.
No.
Inventory at guardhouse. Okay. Library might not talk about the theater room, but the ghost might have seen something happening at the other places, or even know about the palace.
Yeah.
Basic, civilian knowledge at least, which is more than what the players would have at this point. Yeah, I think this is going to be one of our longer episodes, but it's been a blast for sure.
It's been fun.
It's been fun. Anyways, uh, I'm Freebie. Thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And bye bye.
Ciao.